What does it mean to be fit? And I think this is one of the most misunderstood things in the world of exercise, fitness to date, right? Because if you ask 100 different people, what does it mean to be fit? What does it mean to be high performance? What does it mean to be in great shape? What does it mean to be athletic? You're going to get 100 different answers, right? I mean, there's some people might talk about basketball players or gymnasts or wrestlers or boxers or who knows, right? And none of them are necessarily wrong because for the most part, it's been very, very subjective, right? And some folks will actually just sort of equate a very lean physique with someone who's very, very fit, right? So there needs to be something there. And this was something that it drove me nuts. And it still to some degree drives me nuts to this day. But I graduated from college with an exercise science degree, and I was put into this world of helping people to become fitter, right? And leaner and all this kind of stuff. And it was really frustrating because here I am as a fitness professional and nobody knows what the heck fitness is. Like we kind of have like just some loosely held beliefs around what fitness is, okay? So let me give you a very clear definition of what it means to be fit. And I can get really nerdy on this, but I'm going to make it as clear as I can, and I'm going to hopefully give you a brand new perspective on what it means to be high performance, right? So to be fit, to be high performance means that you need to have a superior level of work capacity, okay? So your body, right? If you imagine your body as a machine, if you imagine it as just one giant muscle, that one giant muscle, that machine has the capability to do work, right? And we can actually measure work. Like if we really get into physics, we can measure work. And I'm not going to get into the equations, but we can measure this. So we can actually measure who the fittest people in the world are, right? But again, it's very complicated and kind of hard to do, but we can do it, right? So what I want you to really understand is the people who have the highest work capacity are the fittest people. And now there's got to be a little bit more to it than just that, right? Because let's just use an example of, let's use an example of let's say in the world of landscaping. Let's say there's two people that are trying to move mulch, and believe it or not, I just got done moving a bunch of mulch this weekend. But let's say there's two people moving a pile of mulch from the front yard into the backyard, right? And same scenario, like we're moving it from one spot in the driveway to the exact same spot, and we have one person do it, and then we put the same pile and we have a second person do it. So both of them will complete the task. Let's just assume that both of them are fit enough to complete the task. But how do we know who's fitter? So it just says that they both have the work capacity, but how do we know who's fitter? Well, that's where this second component comes in, which is really, really important. It's who does it faster, right? Who can do the work? In this case, the work is moving a pile of mulch in the shortest amount of time. And I would argue, like, who do you want moving your mulch? Do you want somebody who's going to take like 4 days, or do you want somebody who can do it in a day, right? Depending on how big the mulch pile is. Like, speed is valuable, right? And I always used to say, like, if we just measured fitness by someone covering a mile distance, then my 96-year-old grandmother, she's not with us anymore, this is a long time ago, my 96-year-old grandmother could have covered a mile, but it would have taken her like 5 years. It would have taken her 5 days, not 5 years. Probably would have taken her 5 days, right? She would have had a walker. So she had the work capacity, but the other missing link there to really determine if someone's truly fit is, how quickly could she do it, right? So obviously the 4-minute mile runner is going to be fitter than the 10-minute mile runner, right? And again, so we need to take this time piece into consideration. So what is the work, right? And then how long does it take to complete that work? And there's one more piece here that is kind of, I'm going to mention it, but you sort of know where I'm coming from already. When I say it, you're going to be like, well, yeah, of course. So the third piece of this equation, so it's work capacity, taking into consideration time, right? And thirdly, regardless of the activity. Right? So the fittest people in the world are not just great runners, right? Like if you just have a 3-minute mile, let's just say, it doesn't mean you're the fittest person in the world, right? In order to be the fittest, most high performance person in the world, you have to be good at whatever the task is. And let's face it, there's an infinite number of tasks, right? Like there's all kinds of different physical things that your human body can do.